want to talk about my realistic expectations for Caleb Williams going into his rookie season with the Chicago Bears. We know that this dude had a lot of hype when he was coming out of USC. He's been labeled as a generational quarterback prospect. He's gotten a lot of comparisons to Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. He's supposed to be the messiah of the new generation of quarterbacks that are starting to enter the NFL now. And the Chicago Bears, throughout their lifelong existence, despite being one of the longest teams that have been around in the NFL, they have never had elite quarterback play. Caleb Williams in his first season, he could be possibly the first QB in Bears history to throw for more than 4,000 yards. And I don't think that's unrealistic. And I don't want to hear Bears fans saying that we need to temper expectations for this dude. No, when you replace a fan favorite and Justin Fields, who was beloved by players in the locker room and people in the city of Chicago, he needs to be an immediate upgrade. And anything that is short of what you would expect out of a number one quarterback is unacceptable. Out of Caleb Williams this year, I need to see CJ Stroud, Andrew Luck, or Justin Herbert kind of rookie season. There's no excuses you can make for him not being able to replicate those performances based on the supporting cast that he has going into this season. This may be the best supporting cast that we've ever seen a rookie quarterback have. You got Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. This is arguably the best receiving core in the NFL. We're not even including the other weapons like DeAndre Swift, Roshan Johnson, Cole Kmet, who is a top 10 tight end and an improved offensive line. There's no excuses for Caleb Williams not being able to come out the gate swinging. We need to see this brother actually look like he is the messiah for the Chicago Bears franchise, because when you get rid of a guy like Justin Fields, that shows us that you feel Caleb Williams is going to be an immediate upgrade. I need to see this dude look like a top 10 quarterback based on the amount of hype that he's had coming in to his rookie year. I've never heard a quarterback prospect be so hyped up as what Caleb Williams has been, and I do think that he is going to deliver on that. He has really good accuracy. He is incredible when it comes to making plays off script. When he gets outside the pocket, that's when he's at his best. And with the wide receivers that he's going to be throwing to, there's no reason why he can't break the Chicago Bears all-time single-season passing yardage record. We need to see that. We need to see him play at a top 10 level. You may say, oh, JT, you're being a little bit too overly ambitious about Caleb Williams. Am I really? Or am I just holding him up to the standard that comes with getting this generational quarterback label? Trevor Lawrence got this generational quarterback label, and we still have yet to see it, which is why he gets called overrated. Trevor Lawrence isn't overrated because he's a bad quarterback. It's just that he hasn't lived up to the hype that came with him being drafted number one overall. And that's the same kind of expectation that I'm going to have for Caleb Williams. And if he is anything less than what we saw out of CJ Stroud last year, he's a disappointment. His rookie season is a disappointment to me. Caleb Williams has to take the Chicago Bears to the playoffs this year, and he needs to play well. Now, of course, there are going to be some inconsistencies from game to game sometimes, because despite how good he could be, no matter how good of a rookie quarterback you are, you still are going to have your fair share of struggles. We saw CJ Stroud kind of start out hot out the gate, and then, around the tail end of the season, his play kind of dwindled a little bit. He went from throwing no interceptions at all to throwing multiple interceptions in several games in the second half of 2023. Andrew Luck, he was a turnover machine his first couple of years in the league, but he still elevated his team. If Chicago can't make it to the playoffs and Caleb Williams is doing the same stuff that we saw Justin Fields do, melting in the fourth quarter, then the Chicago Bears pretty much wasted the number one overall pick, and they would have been better off just sticking with Justin Fields, either drafting Marvin Harrison number one or trading that pick away to get more assets to build up their team So Caleb Williams, I'm expecting big things out of him this season. I think he's going to throw for 4,100 yards. He's going to have 29, either 30 passing touchdowns, 8 or 9 interceptions. He's going to have 7 or 8 rushing touchdowns and probably around 700 rushing yards because he is a better athlete than what you would think. And I was listening to Matt Eberflus talk about Caleb Williams and how good he's been up to this point in training camp. The dude says that he's not built as small as what you may think. The dude is kind of built like a linebacker or a running back. So when he gets into the open field, not only does he have enough power to run over defensive backs, but he's also elusive enough where he can put a spin move or a juke move on you and make you look embarrassed in the open field if you're a DB. He has all the talent in the world to be the next Patrick Mahomes or the next Aaron Rodgers or to carve out his own legacy. But the expectations for this dude have to be as high as what they are, considering what you did to draft them, trading away Justin Fields and using the number 1 overall pick to replace him with somebody that is unproven. I don't think what I'm asking for is unrealistic. I think that's just me being fair and the expectations that comes with having that generational quarterback label, especially when you're getting compared to Patrick Mahomes. If the Bears don't make it to the playoffs this season, it's a disappointment. Considering everything that you have on defense, you had a top 10, nearly top 5 defense after week 9 of last year. Now, if your offense can produce at the level that it should relative to the talent that they have, the Bears not only could make it to the playoffs, but they could win this division, and maybe they win a playoff game or two if Caleb Williams ends up working out. So the Bears are only going to go as far as what Caleb Williams is able to take them, and he needs to play at a high level. I'm expecting this brother to be a top 10 quarterback right out the gate, and anything less than that to me is a disappointment considering the hype.